Howdy, folks. Vile Mike here so far, and we got nearly a full panel. We got Elihu. Chris is having technical difficulties. Our resident Canadian, who's actually British, and our Florida man. How are you guys doing? And are you doing as bad as I am?
I'm good. Just got to get rid of that echo.
I'm doing.
There we go.
So, okay, what is the British/Canadian perspective on what happened in Venezuela yesterday?
Oh, really? I don't know. It sounds like
I'm putting you on the spot because you're the only foreign correspondent we have.
Foreign correspondent.
Okay, that's funny.
Pretty outrageous. I mean, for all one may think about Maduro, I don't think it's appropriate to invade a country and kidnap the president and his wife. I mean, how would y'all feel if somebody decided to come into your country and kidnap Trump and Melania because they'd committed international crimes and you wanted to take them off to, I don't know, The Hague and try them there? Like,
well,
for
I'll be honest with you. You say it like that.
What?
In all honesty, I would first of all be happy as all fuck if someone did that. But on a lesser note, I would be pissed that another country thought they could do that.
Well, that's just it, right? There's going to be people who are like, oh, yay, Maduro's gone. But there's now what, right? Like Trump's like, oh, we're going to run Venezuela. Really? You're going to run Venezuela? But I don't know. I haven't followed a ton of stuff. I try not to get overly bogged down in like this stuff over the weekend. You know, you need to give yourself a mental health break. But so there's a lot of commentary from people that I haven't listened to yet that I'm like, oh, that sounds like interesting. Like the vice president made a statement, but I haven't listened to what that was. Not your vice president. I mean, the one of Venezuela.
Yeah.
I don't know what she said, but.
And what was interesting about that was I saw a post about that speech saying, she's saying that we're not going to accept colonizers.
Yeah, which makes sense.
There were Trump supporters in the comments saying, that's not what she said. She said, we won't be slaves. As if that was a better defense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait a second. Does this make Venezuela all Americans now?
No, that's the thing. They're going to end up being a slave state, essentially.
Well, if we are running Venezuela, then Venezuela is now America.
We are not running Venezuela. Venezuelan government still has control of the government, the people, the money, and the military.
Wait. Let's pull it back a little bit. I heard the president of the United States saying we're gonna run Venezuela.
Yeah.
So whether actually happens,
okay,
I don't know. I'm just saying that's what's being said. We're running it. That means if we're running it, that's America.
What has been said has been said. But also the courts in Venezuela. Hang on a second, LDG. The courts in Venezuela has said that the vice president will take immediate control of the country, which means Venezuela has control of their country. The United States does not right now. There is no verifiable fact that any boots are on the ground or anything.
Well, yeah, I doubt we moved in with all the blue suits or whatever the hell.
Boots were on the ground, but there's no verification that they're still there.
And how's your sound, Chris?
Should be fine.
Okay,
all right,
we can hear you.
There he is. The miracle.
So, Venezuela is a fool's dream. He has no fucking clue what he's doing down there. I mean, I'm not gonna argue the choice to do what he did. I'm not sure if I would have gone the same route as he did. But ultimately, we do know the guy wasn't a good guy. We knew there were issues. Taking him out in one way or another.
He just pardoned the president of Honduras, who was
I understand this. Okay, listen. Again, I'm not going to argue those sides of things. I'm going to argue what's actually happening right now, which is the situation, I don't think, called for this much escalation up front. There was probably a better way to do it, but getting him out of power is not an issue, I don't think, for me. Normally we infiltrate the country using propaganda and get the people to do it for us. That's typically been the United States way of getting people out. Things that ended up being like Vietnam, which again we don't know yet. I mean, we've tried this many times, and many times this has failed on us.
Mhm.
The line of "we're going to run it" is ridiculous. We don't know the politics down there. We don't know the structure of their their GDP, their politics, anything. And just going in there and saying it's America now.
So you're hoping, Chris, that Trump will succeed where every other leader in the past 50 years has failed? To let
me be very clear here. Is that my hope? Of course it is. My hope would be that for any president who does this. Just because of what it has led to in the past. The best example, of course, is Vietnam, but Korea is another one. In Korea,
I was thinking the way you first brought it up, I was thinking Iraq.
I was thinking
Because
Panama.
I agreed with you when Bush first went to Iraq after 9/11.
You gotta go way back.
I've heard horror stories from my dad about the Gulf War and thought, yeah, Saddam needed to be taken out.
Well, wait. Again, his father, Senior, all but yelled and screamed at him, "Do not take Saddam out," for a reason. And I agreed with that also. While yes, he was an atrocious person, horrible where he was also former CIA. We knew how to smack him down to keep him from doing the things. So whenever we went over there and stopped him from taking over Kuwait, we had basically hit him, our boot on his jugular on the ground. It's like, if you make a wrong move, we're coming back. And that's how he handled it for a long time. I don't like the thought of troops being there all the time, which we still have troops there, so whatever. Or not many, but we have some people there. But Kuwait was a different problem, because we created the major problem on both sides. We put him in place and we took him out, which, as Senior was trying to say, is you have a guy that people are afraid of that keep some of the worst people at bay. So there was a necessary evil being done there. Again, I'm not saying I agree with doing things a certain way there. Just it made sense keeping him there, and I think they should have, and we're still paying the price now because of all the issues that have come since then. Especially going over there for 9/11. I mean, we already knew that there was nothing to do over there for 9/11. We knew he had nothing to do with that, but we were trying to say he did. And so again, we can get into those semantics, but more to the point, we started back in Korea trying to think this McCarthyism of we can't let another country fall to communism. It's changed and morphed to different things over time. Now I guess it's going to be we can't let another country be ran by a drug lord or something like that, which we know that this history's war on drugs and how well it's worked. The idea though in Korea is let's get Korea and let's unify Korea. And while we were very successful up front, eventually China started pouring money into it, and they basically fought back until we had to agree 50-50, basically. It's not exacts, but just saying 50-50 was the agreement on Korea. You flower-loving kids can stay up north or south, technically, but you guys can be south and we'll be north and, whatever. We went to Vietnam and tried the same thing. Problem is we did not anticipate the landscape of that war. we didn't anticipate all the jungles. And I hear this directly from I heard this directly from my father and other people who were over there, that we were not prepared to fight guerrilla war. Since then, we've gotten a little better, but then now it's changed to desert warfare. So we're constantly getting ourselves in a little over our heads. I mean, we did better, of course, with Iraq and all that, but this started out as just, we're going to take out drug boats, and then now we're going to hold tankers and cargo ships, and now we're going to blockade them. And it's just, I feel really weird on the escalation without provocation. I'm not saying there aren't drugs coming from there, but when we know that China is shipping over more fentanyl than any other country, and they're distributing it mostly to the south of us, some to the north, but that was another thing when he was campaigning. Oh, the north is horrible. Canada's horrible. They're shipping in all these illegal drugs. No, they mapped it out. They've mapped it out. They know where it's coming from.
If I may interject briefly,
yeah.
I believe Venezuela produces mostly cocaine, and it mostly goes to Europe.
Yes, and that's my point. We are no longer a cocaine nation.
That is correct. More cocaine goes to China and Europe from Venezuela than the Americans.
And so that was my next thing on this is, why is this your
Did anyone
choice?
Watch the video I suggested from that UNFTR guy, Vile?
I followed them on YouTube, but I didn't watch anything yet because I needed something to distract myself. So I watched the movie Plane.
Yeah. No worries. There's one guy who made some really good commentary about it's basically probably initiated by Marco Rubio. And the long-term goal is to destabilize Cuba because, of course, his family's from Cuba. So that's...
there's another thing. We've been after Cuba for so long trying to figure it out. And I don't know why. It's a strip. It's a landing strip. It's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's a landing strip. So whatever.
It's control of the Caribbean.
My thought process on this is that this whole past election, when drugs got brought up, it was fentanyl. And now we're chasing after a cocaine nation, which we know. I mean, let me pull up the numbers here.
Well, the other thing that when it comes to fentanyl that I'm worried about
5,000 people died last year of cocaine. I have that. I have that numbers here too.
No.
I think we're past.
5,000 adults died from drugs.
Hold on. I wanted to say my point real quick because here in San Diego there was a drug bust where we seized a bunch of fentanyl that was being brought from Mexico in Tijuana into San Diego. They chemically tested that fentanyl. That fentanyl was made in America, purchased by China, who then sold it to Honduras, and it made its way from Honduras through Central America and Mexico back to the United States. So if that's it, literally it's our own fucking fentanyl.
Yes, there's the other thing.
Yeah, according to DHS, about 5,000 people die a year from cocaine in the United States.
Yeah, and fentanyl is what makes. Oh God, this is gonna sound horrible.
No,
fentanyl is what makes illicit drugs like cocaine a problem, more so than it used to be. In the 80s, cocaine was a problem, but it was pure. It's what you cut your drugs with. And this is the DEA's issue all the time, is that they don't know what drugs are being cut with. So going after a cocaine country isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just, what is the real end goal? What do we expect from this in 5 years and 10 years and whatnot? He's thinking of right now. And if he thinks it's going to stop the cocaine, no, because again, going back to what Elihu said, if there aren't boots on the ground
that we know of, nothing confirmed.
Well, yeah, but listen, if we don't know about it, it's not going to be a large force. So easy point here right now would be, think of Clear and Present Danger, Harrison Ford, Tom Clancy novel. Right now, if we have anybody there, it's a small team of people who would be working in a guerrilla fashion, trying to find storehouses and manufacturing plants to take them out. Now, if we start getting reports of terror attacks or explosions in areas of Venezuela, then we might be there doing that. But just because you shut down a country or its leader does not mean that the cocaine production or the cocaine distribution goes away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the big problem here, is we haven't fixed the problem. We've just gone in and planted our flag and acted like all is good. And if that's all he does for all of this and waves Maduro out in front of the public and say, look what I did, look what I did, look what I did, as the drugs are still flowing, come on. It gets the point.
Chris, you got to remember, the whole thing started with these quote-unquote swift bloat explosions because of trafficking fentanyl from Venezuela. But according to the actual deposition that DHS released, it says right here, by in or about 2020, the State Department estimated between 200 and 250 tons of cocaine were trafficked through Venezuela. I hit Control F or Alt F on the whole entire documents. Cocaine is listed 67 times. Gun is listed 22 times. Fentanyl is listed 0 times. The whole point of this was to stop fentanyl from coming to the United States, but there is no mention of the word fentanyl in this deposition whatsoever.
Did you
can
spell
look for
it
yourself.
correctly when you searched
I
for it?
spelled it correctly. Yes, I did. I even did spell check.
I'm teasing.
I know. I did spell check, yeah.
I can't even spell fentanyl, let alone fucking this guy. I don't know. Fuck shit.
Dude, I use spell
some
check,
kind
okay?
of CH39 molecule number or whatever. Listen, I don't know.
I use spell check, man.
I thought
what I'm trying to say is that this whole deposition here is all the narrative is cocaine trafficking, but yet they're claiming they're blowing up fentanyl boats. They're doing this for fentanyl safety. Where is the fentanyl whatsoever in this? Where is the proof of fentanyl? Where's the marijuana boat you destroyed?
I can answer that question. If you get rid of the coke, you get rid of the fentanyl. If you get rid of what
there is no fentanyl trafficking from Venezuela to United States.
You can't cut fentanyl with. You can't cut cocaine with. If you don't have cocaine, you can't use the fentanyl.
That's
No,
not
that's my point.
Hold on.
Pure fentanyl.
Hold on.
Wait.
LD, hold on. I gotta ask LDG. Do you know why they put fentanyl in cocaine?
The common sense. I know why they do it, or some other reason you're going to tell me about.
No, I'm asking you. Like literally, why do you think they do that?
I think there's a number of reasons.
Okay, can you give us some? That's what I'm asking.
Does it matter?
Isn't fentanyl
Yes.
less cheaper?
I mean, they cut it. I mean, just the fact of cutting it alone and then getting people to want to buy it again.
No.
The primary reason is because. Sorry, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, but the primary reason is they've cut the cocaine with so many other ingredients in order to increase its market value. They've diluted its addictive properties and its high properties. So they put back in fentanyl to make sure that you get that high and you get that addiction rate.
So that's basically what I just said.
There are 4 main reasons. One, the biggest one, it increases profit margin. The only reason why you ever cut a pure drug is because of profit margining. You take 6 ounces of anything and you find a way to cut it that is acceptable by your base customer. I mean, this is soda. Just think of how much water is in soda. If people didn't like it the way it is, they drop back on water or something else to get back to what they need. It is
so classic Coke,
well,
new Coke.
My point is, you do it to increase your profit margins first and foremost.
Okay, so instead of
your second is potency and addictiveness. Always, the more different types of drugs that are in there that people aren't expecting can introduce them to something that their body will then jump to. So, for instance, my point there is it's just like pot or anything else. You can do it, and at a certain point, if you're not completely out of base on it, your body will find its point where, hey, I can do this with this much alcohol, all of that. Whether or not that's true or not, I'm just saying people in general feel, oh, okay, yeah, I can do it. I can do a joint before I go to work because it's just going to mellow me out. Of course, there are far sides on either side. People who do too much, people who do too little. But the idea is
a single joint for me would make it so I couldn't work. A single joint for Elihu means he does his job better.
Exactly.
Yeah. Metabolism.
But cocaine, there's probably a guy out there that says, oh, I'm just going to do a line before I go out today. And he does a line. Well, you put fentanyl in there. Now he's going to be sitting there 2-3 hours later going like, man, that's different. I think I got something out of that better. But it makes me feel like I got more there, maybe, or you die. I mean, again, fentanyl is a horrible thing that cutting anything with, it's like, you got to be a chemist to know. Again, this stuff
it's extremely potent.
Exactly. And I'm not saying that they should cut it at all. I'm just saying if they were to do it, you got to have somebody who's like a pharmacist, somebody who absolutely understands the maximum amount that could go in there before it kills a person. Because fentanyl is used in pharmaceuticals.
Yes.
And so there is a use for it, but it's so minimal of a use that we, again, leave it to America and other countries to create something that's become the problem. Opioids, all that stuff. I mean, but just because you take cocaine away.
Now, sorry, a quick question. Is fentanyl opiate derived, or is it completely synthetic, not from an opiate? Because I mean, cocaine obviously is not an opiate. It's from the coca plant, theoretically.
I do not know if it's synthetic or not.
Here, hold on, I'm looking it up right
now.
now.
Thanks, Chris.
I'm just curious about that.
Yes, it is. It's a synthetic opioid.
Okay. All right. Just curious. So it is opiate.
But
okay.
It's the whole Hydra adage when you're talking about drugs.
I love the fact that hold on, Chris. I want to thank you for actually looking that up for me because I was trying to look it up on my other phone, and I literally just realized, oh yeah, I forgot to turn on my internet for my other phone. So you pulled it up, and I'm like, and I'm going looking at no internet. So thank you very much. Sorry.
That's fine. Just because you take cocaine off, it's a Hydra effect. Cut one head off, two heads reappear. There's no way that even if Maduro was the kingpin of it all, and I seriously doubt he was. I just think he was put in power by the powers that be that controlled cocaine.
Yeah. So there's not really any evidence that's going to reduce cocaine exploitation.
That's what I'm saying. This is his thing of he wants a trophy to wave in front of people and say, look, I'm doing something. But until he actually, and again, this is what the problem with taking out leaders is. If you take out a leader, now in order to fix the problem you say you're going to fix, we either have to install a leader, which makes us look more like a dictator on our side. I mean, we did it in Japan and
propping up some banana republics.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of situations where we've done this, and it's never been good.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everybody, including us and all news outlets, is talking about cocaine trafficking. But why are we talking about this when cocaine was only mentioned 2 times by Trump during this thing, and oil 12 times?
What about it?
The narratives that I've been reading here is not about cocaine trafficking. It's about the oil. It's about the oil reserves that Venezuela has.
What did I just tell you?
I think some of what happened is there's an awful lot of people with varying degrees of wanting to get at, like, Marco Rubio wants to destabilize Cuba. And oil companies want access to some more oil, even though we've only got a minimal number of you guys, only have a minimal number of refineries that can actually refine the particular kind of oil they have. But that particular kind of oil is not.
But if you go in there, you can take over those oil.
Like a lot of different conflicting people trying to give Trump a reason to invade Venezuela, and so that's sort of what happened, I think.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
a false
All these
narrative. They
clickbait.
never
Exactly.
sold U.S. They never sold oil from U.S. So this is the false
Okay,
narrative.
Elihu, you're asking a question which is rhetorical. You know the answer. You know what the answer is. And I just said it.
Diversion.
No, it is. I get a trophy that I can wave in front of the people to keep people's minds off of what's really going on. It's the same thing we did in Iraq. And again, I don't like defending Trump. This is not a Trump thing. This is not a new thing for the United States. This is just another thing. And now we've already implemented it. Nobody stopped and thought their way through how can we do this not properly, because there was probably no proper way to do it. But nobody stopped and thought, what is the best route to what we want with the minimal invasiveness that will not get us locked into something that we aren't prepared for, which is either a drug war, an oil war, having to run a country when we can't run our own, those types of things. But the real reason for this is we give Trump the guy to parade in front of people to keep people's minds off of what's really going on. Now back to the point I was trying to make about cocaine. Just because you take the leader out, you have not stopped the cocaine. And even if they think they can't get the cocaine out of the ports, they're going to ship it inward and upward. They're going to find another way to do it. So all of this is smoke and mirrors right now. This is a giant Statue of Liberty disappearing, Great Wall of China disappearing, all that stuff that David Copperfield has done. That is what's going on right now in front of our eyes. And it's not being done very well. Again, at least Bush got the country on board with taking out Saddam Hussein, because a lot of people already thought that they should have the first time and never understood why Senior didn't take him out. So when we were in that moment, the country was united behind the fact that we've been attacked, and we were, yes, somebody's got to pay, and Saddam was the first to pay for no reason. I'm not saying he was a great person, but for what we thought we were going over there for, we made him pay for something he had nothing to do with.
Figurehead.
Huh?
A figurehead.
Yes. But
That's funny, because
we were united behind him. We were united as a country behind that thought. The difference right now is we're not behind it. And not everybody's behind this. And people are now asking questions. So it does not have the effect that it was intended to have.
Maybe I remember things a little bit differently, but I could have sworn there was more Americans looking for answers before revenge and didn't get any.
We wanted answers. But again, he used a lot of people's past beliefs on the first Iraq war to bolster, let's get him out of power and we'll get our answers. We now know the weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
Back then, a lot of us knew.
Well, that's what the media was
real.
pushing.
Well, no, it was the government was doing it too. They used a lot of things.
They were pushing the media.
That's, I'm not positive about that, because there were people here in the media questioning it too. It doesn't matter.
But there was a lot of
Very little.
strong push towards it from the
It
media.
was all clickbait bullshit.
Well, going back to Venezuela for a second.
Yeah.
Do you find it at all interesting? Again, Elihu points out that, they're being very vocal about how they're going to go after Venezuela's oil. But due to the tariffs that were put in place, China has blocked us and their allies from getting certain rare earth minerals.
Mm-hmm.
And Venezuela has a massive still within the ground, deposits of rare earth minerals, especially when it comes to those needed for electronics.
Cobalt, uranium. Not uranium, cobalt, and
Coltran, or what is it? What was it?
I forgot what they were. Sorry, I got a geologic. Sorry, I'll be right back.
Coltan and nickel. Whereas the ones China's primarily blocking us for are ones more in high-end electronics, usually the ones used by the Defense Department. The ones that are in Venezuela are more for like consumer goods.
Right.
But let's face
thing
it, the
is-
gap between defense and consumer goods is shortening every day.
There's no particular reason to think that Venezuela wouldn't have like negotiated to allow for the mining of these minerals, right? Like Venezuela is quite open. I mean, they were already selling oil to the US. Like they did sell some of their oil to the
Yeah,
US.
but you are going down the wrong.
I got a
rabbit
question.
hole,
When you guys have a second,
Sure, go
You're
ahead.
going
Ed.
down yeah. Well, go ahead.
kind of
I'm going
related,
down.
sort of
I am,
related.
or-
No, LDG was going to ask a question.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
that's-
LG.
oh, okay. It's kind of related to the whole Trump's Pirate of the Caribbean role for the past few months, blowing up shit. I was waiting to see what they would have done to counter the fact that they were blowing up the ships and showing everybody they were blowing up the ships, and like start like, I don't know, doing something like maybe kidnapping civilians and having them on the deck. So if they want to show blowing up a ship, you're going to see some innocent people dying.
Well, those were innocent people dying.
Well, that
No,
sorry,
no,
that
I
does bring
meant
up a point that I wanted to bring
my
up later.
idea, though. I'm talking about. I know. I mean, like literally.
I will bring this up. During our assaults on, certain targets in Iran recently, Nigeria, even going back as far as, when we invaded Iraq and Afghanistan, one of the things that the U.S. was really good at, despite everything, was reporting civilian deaths. And as far as I can tell, any mention of any civilian deaths during this operation yesterday was strictly forbidden and redacted, to the point where, as far as I could tell, there was exactly one death that was reported of a civilian being killed when an apartment building was bombed by the U.S. in Venezuela. And my issue with that is, Venezuela is not, apartment buildings in that part of the world are not just limited to one person. You don't blow up an apartment building and say one person died.
Yeah, you didn't. We know that it's not just one civilian. It's just a matter of when will they tell us how many. And is that worth it? Back to your point, Dandelion. They won't give us what we want, which is just to have it for free. So when we look at, no matter how big Venezuela is, no matter how powerful they might be, we're way, way, way. I mean, this is like the Death Star being used for a pebble in space. I mean, literally, it's like, why would you take the Death Star to destroy a pebble in space? So we're basically bullying them. And now we are going to go in there, and even if the vice president comes in there, he's a puppet too. I mean, if you're saying the president was corrupt, well, your vice president's under the same people, so it's like,
Chris,
what?
You do realize that Death Star was basically blown up by a pebble in space?
I understand that. Well, no, and not in that sense. Not in that sense. It was finding the flaw. Anyway, yes. But my point
Vice
was,
President of Venezuela a she?
Owned by Florida man.
Why is nobody laughing at that? I thought that was hilarious.
I was laughing, dude. I was muted. I was laughing. That was funny as shit. Owned by a Florida man. Okay.
We're not semantics on the idea, but I was using the purpose for. And again, no, it was not. It was 2 meters wide. Anyways, I'm literally talking
it was
about
a farm boy with the freaking. Oh shoot! Yeah, sorry, Caddy. I forgot to send you the link. Hold on. If you want to
killing small animals is a big, that's kind of a red flag, isn't it?
Vice President is a she. Just to.
Still, if you're saying, again, I'm going off of what Trump says, is that they're corrupt, it's a regime, then what? They put somebody underneath them and vice president that isn't attached to the same group of people? I'm not saying she is.
Sorry, Caddy, I put the link in the chat. I'm going to delete it as soon as you come up. Go ahead, Chris. Sorry for interrupting you.
Just saying, again, it's all smoke and mirrors. I don't know what they think the end game is. I believe it is more about oil than anything. I don't believe it's going to stop any cocaine issues. It might give fentanyl one less port to go in and out of, or two less ports, however many ports they have in Venezuela on that coast. Ultimately, there is no reason why this is being done. I don't care what he wants to say.
No, it's true. There is no good justification.
We don't go to other countries just because they have bad people running them. Look across the country or the world. The world right now, there are still horrific acts being done by leaders of the country, and we're not really doing anything. This is just ease of access, show of power, and that's all it's for.
I think you're forgetting. I think you're forgetting the terms and conditions of Trump's FIFA Peace Prize.
Well, get it now.
He has to free one nation every fucking year or something like that. It's part of his freaking,
Yeah, I don't think even
king of the world shit
qualifies you for, extrajudicial killings. Generally, don't warrant peace prize getting.
But they'll spin it that way, though. I'm telling you, man, he's turning it a Trumpolion.
Ugh.
Well,
It's so gross.
I can't believe Caddy's actually awake right now.
Didn't
Yeah, I'm
Napoleon
kinda
think
shocked
he was
too.
like doing good? Or no, I don't know. I'm not familiar with it too much. Was he conquering the world thinking he was freeing everybody?
no, he thought he was protecting France. Because remember, Napoleon,
Okay.
a lot of countries did not like what was going on in France because of the revolution.
So he was a Mafia?
People in France love Napoleon.
Make France great again? Mafuga. He's a Mafuga.
Mashugana. He's my Mashugana.
He's a Mafuga.
He's my Mashugana.
But
he was France's
I do
version
think
of
there's
Trump, is what you're saying.
Well, I would say there's probably some psychological similarities between Napoleon and Trump.
Wait a second. Holy crap. That picture of Napoleon. Oh my God, dude. I can't believe it's staring me in the face.
What?
He was like Trump, right? Isn't that famous painting of him or something?
Oh yeah,
like
the one where he's astride the white horse.
Yeah. Was that done when he was alive?
Yes.
Oh, he's so fucking Trump. Oh my God, dude.
And to put that in context, hold on. To put that in further context, LDG, the actual animal he rode during that battle was a donkey. Because they didn't have enough horses.
Oh, great.
So yes,
Trump's riding the donkeys. No. Well, I guess how you
he
look
is
at
a
it.
donkey. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. He's an ass.
Okay, you want to know something funny? I'm literally wearing my smartass shirt still. I got a donkey on it.
I'm wearing my Thoughts on Rice t-shirt that I got.
I'm just wearing my Black Panther shirt.
What's the independent animal?
There is none.
It's the
They don't
Green
have one?
Party. No,
Cat.
they have the leaf. No, it's a marijuana plant. The Green Party.
I thought the Independent was a cat.
I think our Green Party isn't though so much for the weed as they are for the environment.
Yes, here is maybe environments.
I should create a. I should create one and use the very thing that what the other parties are considered as, and just have a pig.
Oh, the Tea Party?
The pig party.
We had a hippopotamus party here for a long time in Canada. We actually also have the pirate party. Now that
We'll have secret
I
meetings
heard about that.
like Fred
I heard about
Flintstones did.
The Lower Water Buffaloes?
The water buffaloes, yeah. We'll have a
Water
secret
buffalo.
handshake.
Hey, speaking of water buffalo, have you guys ever tried that water buffalo yogurt?
I tried water
No.
buffalo cheese.
Oh,
Yeah, I've
that
had
water
water
buffalo
buffalo
yogurt.
Yogurt.
Yeah, it's not made with cow milk. It's made with water buffalo milk. It's very good, lactose free.
But also very high in fat because water buffalo
Yeah.
milk is really high in fat.
I
So
know.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily the bad. It's like a monounsaturated fat. It's not a bad fat.
right.
They were cheaper than the damn
But still calories.
Yo Plays. I'm like, hell yeah, 50 cents per yogurt instead of $1. I'll take one of these.
Well, at 50 cents, I'd try it. I mean, I'll try anything once, especially when it's cheap.
Sometimes they'll try things twice.
Yeah, you just gotta get lube for that.
All right, guys. I've got enough daylight to go.
That's the
through
voice
my
of experience.
so I'm actually gonna like book it, but I'll probably sit in your chat maybe for the next one. I'll see
No
you
worries.
in-
Yeah. I love
Yay.
your title, though. War is a good distraction.
Okay, speaking of war, I just want to bring this up.
Take care, anyone.
It's not
Excuse me.
war because we didn't officially
No, I know.
declare it. It's the military action.
I know.
Yeah, I'm already drank this second coffee.
Do you guys think that Trump will actually comply with the War Powers Act and report to Congress within 48 hours? Or
I
at
think
least,
I think he's going to assume he already has. I think he honestly believes when he tweets something, that's as good as informing Congress.
Chris, what do you think?
No, he doesn't give a fuck about what the rules are.
I had to ask, guys.
Again, I do remember with Saddam Hussein, which is the closest thing I can. That's the closest thing I can attribute this to, because we did depose a leader and we took him out. I do remember a lot of Congress talk before it ever happened. I do remember Bush pushing for it, Cheney pushing for it, and Congress pretty much all being on board for it. So my thought process was, why are we going to Iraq? You got to remember, this is when I was in. This is all happening right about the time I was going in, or not about the time, but I mean, after that. And I was like, great, I'm going to have to go over there for no reason whatsoever. And I mean, the closest thing that happened the first time around was within months of me being out of boot. It was, we were told to come back to, El Toro. We were all lined up and we were given a sheet of paper and told, write I, then put your name. And they started making us write a will. And I was 18-ish. And it made me realize, oh shit, this is kind of real. That was when the UN peacekeeping troops were not being allowed into palaces in Iraq to check for weapons of any sort. Well, that was part of it. It wasn't so much that at that time. I don't think it was just we wanted to know, was he hoarding anything?
The civilian narrative was that the reason the U.S. military is there is to find and destroy all WMDs. That was the civilian narrative. U.S. military had a different perspective, right?
But isn't it interesting that the rhetoric is always, we're doing this to protect Americans? Because before it was the weapons of mass destruction, now it's the drugs that are killing people. Where was this talk? If the fentanyl's existed for almost 80 years. I mean, but it's only been a talking point for the last 3, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, that's
the
narrative I've been hearing.
But it's like we're doing this to protect Americans from dying from fentanyl. We're doing this to protect Americans from weapons of mass destruction. We're doing this to protect Americans from communism. It's like anytime we're doing this, it's the rhetoric is we're doing it to protect people, but we never see the benefits of that.
You might, just not in the way you think you're going to.
Oh, name one time, and but before I end the stream.
Well, I mean, again, I'm not sure what you're meaning by not being protected. I mean, again, do these people pose
Civil
a
War.
problem?
Well, like,
No,
Civil War, Mike. That was the last thing I can think of.
you are stating that they say it's for protection. Well, getting into the politics of it, us having free access to oil reserves, us having free access to control a country from having drugs come up here, there could be benefits we're going to see. I'm just saying it's not going to be the benefits that are always used. They say it's going to be much better. They used in Iraq jobs over there for people and all that. Well, we were in an unstable country with 5 or 6 tribes fighting for power. So no, it wasn't a great job to go to. I don't know. The idea is that these people are bad people, and when you take a bad person out, there is some sense that, oh, hey, it's going to be safer for everybody, including Americans. There's some minuscule truth to that, but that's not the reason. That's just the reason to stand on. Again, just because your wife's in Mexico and she goes to make dinner and you don't see her make dinner, but she tells you she makes dinner, doesn't mean she didn't make dinner, but you don't know she made dinner, right?
Hey, Mike. Oh, sorry. I forgot to mention this, but I got the number for the people killed in the U.S. airstrikes in Venezuela.
My point.
Hold on. Did they finally release those numbers? What?
Approximately 40 people killed in U.S. airstrikes in Venezuela.
Yeah, seems right.
That does not. I don't know. I am gonna end the stream because I'm gonna Jaloja and then I'm gonna set up for the next stream. All right. Thanks everyone for being here, and I'll see you hopefully on the next one.
Say no to drugs.